This video is going to go over pelvic floor 101. What is it? Where is it? And then we'll get into what we can do with it. All right, so to get started, we have a 3D model here of a pelvis. The pelvis is just the lower bones of our trunk. So if you go to your belly, if you go all the way down the belly, this bone is going to be the bottom. Where if you're pressing it, it'll be soft, soft, soft. That's belly. And then we'll get to this bone. That's our pubic bone. That is the front, okay? And then if we go to the sides, we have this ridge. That's going to be the side of your pelvis. And then in the very back, we have your spine coming down, and then the sacrum and the tailbone, okay? All of that is the bony structure that makes up the pelvic ring. Now, if we're talking about the pelvic floor, it is going to be the muscles that make up the bottom part of that. So we have to remove the organs. All right, the organs that sit in the pelvis on top of the pelvic floor are the bladder, uterus, and rectum, ovaries on the side. Those are going to be the female organs in the female pelvis, okay? Under them, if we look down into the model, you can see red. All of the red that goes from the back side of the pubic bone all the way to the back here, from a side view, looks like a little hammock. That's going to be the pelvic floor muscle group, okay? It also attaches out into the side to one of our hip rotator muscles. So it makes a literal kind of bowl shape, and it is the floor or the bottom part of the pelvis. Now, I have a lot of people that will say, oh, do I have to do these exercises on the floor? No, it's referring to the floor of the pelvis, okay? These muscles can be worked in a variety of ways, and we're gonna get a lot more videos on that. This is just the introduction, okay? So that's the deep layer of the pelvic floor that sits closest to and right underneath these organs, okay? That layer is going to be a lifting layer. So if we take that bowl-like shape and we contract those muscles, then it's going to move up into the body, okay? So that, again, the pelvic floor here, when it contracts, it's going to lift up into the body. Some of the best cues to get that would be thinking about pulling your pubic bone and your tailbone. So those two bones, pulling them together, that will help get that lift, okay? If we look in between the legs view here, you can also think about pulling your sit bones. So these are going to be the bones. If you kind of rock side to side, or if someone ever sits on your lap and you're like, whoa, you have a bony butt, that is these bones right here. And if you can think about pulling those together, that will also get a lift in those pelvic floor muscles. Okay, we have some other cues, but we will get into those in a second. The outer layer of the pelvic floor muscles makes up the urogenital triangle. In that, we have the urethral opening where pee is exiting, and the vaginal opening. And then the back part of the pelvic floor, we have the anal sphincter muscle. So that's the circular muscle that surrounds the anus. This whole layer is more of a squeeze motion, so it's going to squeeze, okay? And that can be helpful when we get into our urge calming strategies, holding in gas, stopping the flow of urine, etc. Okay, so those are the two layers. We have the squeeze on the outside, we have the lift on the inside, and that's how the pelvic floor works. All right.